down to the wire, which is the way they like them. It's really, really hard to believe when you sit back as normal businesses and normal enterprises looking at the amount of money that is available to be spent, and not all of it wisely in that type of spectacle, but the game was good, and all the distractions that went around it were probably minimal, or as expected for the Super Bowl. So it was a good game, and it went down to the wire, and Seattle almost pulled it out, but then there were times that either team looked like that they were in charge and control, and then there were times when they didn't. So the outcome was uncertain until the end. So that was good. My TV will officially be off now until September of 2015, except for occasional movie or something. But I missed television when I was growing up. We didn't get our first TV until the mid-1950s, and I was already playing out of doors and reading by that time. So television's never had the attraction or fascination for me like it did with my siblings. So that's where we are. Probably the most unusual item overnight was crude oil just spiked. And again, we talked about best sell comes at 50, and it's a buy below 45, or has been. No really hard piece of news like a tanker running aground or somebody in the Middle East blowing up, but the spike was attributed to news algos, a strike in the United States at 230 refineries and chemical plants, and perhaps escalating violence in Iraq. So my guess is, if you're looking for a headline, it would be the oil strikes by the chemical and refinery workers in the United States, probably behind it, plus news algorithms and large traders taking advantage of the situation, wiping out all liquidity all the way up to north of 50. So 50 is still a pretty good sell, in my opinion, and you get below 45, you got to look to bring in. So this market opened close to its highs and kind of drifted lower overnight, which you'll see right here. The mode in the overnight equals the mode from Friday's action. So we've got pretty good support at 20 to 24 as it stands right now. That's where support is. So our first buy is going to be 21 to 25. It is support. That's what it is. Then 17 to 13. This morning's news can influence the trading. Got personal income up 0.3. That's hard to believe in the job softness in the United States. Personal spending, which is where the focus will be, minus 0.2. Core, unchanged. ISM manufacturing, 54.5. And if it comes in at 54.5, it will be supportive for the indexes. And construction spending up 0.6. I don't think construction spending has met its forecast for quite a bit of time, but nobody will pay any attention to it. So first focus will be personal spending. Then it'll move on to the ISM 54.5 and the E-minis reaction to such. So this piece of news should be, if as forecast, would be supportive for the indexes and should take us a little lower. So the breakout came from 20 to 17, retesting this breakout. So this little area right in here, leaning against 16, to me probably represents the buy. On the sell side, it's going to be 28 to the buck. And obviously 31 would be a better trade than 27, but that's where we are. Then 7 to 11 for sell 2. So we're going to question mark here at 28. The textbook trade would be a limit sell at 27, leaning against volume right here. That would be your number 2 trade. Boy, we got some much needed moisture across most of the state of Kansas. Really needed for, especially with the cold snap that we have after the Red shared some more of his Canadian air with us this morning. We had 30 gusts to 45 yesterday as this big front came roaring through, and it was 5 degrees this morning. And so I imagine north and east of us probably colder and definitely a lot more snow. But we did get about a half inch of moisture, which was really, really needed. Oh, super. Well, I don't know if you guys probably don't need the moisture like that. We sure do out here. This Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma Panhandle, eastern slope of the Rockies, western Kansas, even south central Kansas now dry. Okay, got volume up here at 14. Got the top of value at 15. We're at 7, so 11 to 15 is this first sell band. The 19 to 23 will be second. Yeah, we've got bizarre weather here. We're supposed to be 55 tomorrow, and then we have a day in the 30s with snow, and then we're supposed to be back in the 50s after that. So it looks like to me we're just about where the dances and brings weather down almost to us. Okay, I'm going to put 01 to 29 for buy one. We usually are able to get to number 2 points pretty easily on this contract. The news if-s forecast should take financials lower. Our geese never leave us anymore, Mark. And you're not allowed to around here. You can run them off with dogs, but you can't kill the damn things. And boy, they are messy and aggressive and everything in between. Henry thinks they're great fun to get after, but he doesn't spend a lot of time worrying about them. Myrtle would just freak out. She would stalk them, get in the water, do all sorts of stuff. They couldn't get rid of her, but Henry will chase them, and then when they're up and gone, he's off to another spot to mark. His whole business and life seems to be marking. Must be a male dog, right? Okay, gold. It stopped about where we thought it would, this 85, 87 area, and the high was set right after the Globex opening. London's high is 81. Last stroke it up is 77, and we're at 72. So this volume right here at 77, 77, 80, sell 1, 83, 85, sell 2. Looks like we're headed down. May have to lean against 75. I don't know. Depends where we are. The breakout came from 67. We've got volume at 64, so we'll make 65, 67 buy 1, and then 60, 62 for buy 2. Okay, the euro is very, very quiet overnight. Some talk about the Swiss franc stabilizing. Kind of come back some, but based on what's going on in Europe, nobody expects it to this to be any more than just a retracement now. What Switzerland did had tremendous impact. Huge losses for the National Bank, which is privately owned, contrary to the other ones, and they were running out of money, so they had to do something. But to have currency revalued at least 20%, but probably more, with the flick of a wrist like that, definitely will bring a recession to Switzerland. And these government, I mean, it's just really hard to believe how badly governments and agencies and those that act in consort with the government can screw things up. It's just, they don't know. And their solutions are politically motivated, so they never make the hard, tough decisions that they need to make. Okay, 27 was the last rotate up in 30, so this 30 to 40 is cell 1. And 60 to 75 is cell 2. Pretty quiet, really, for the euro, if you think about it. We had this breakout, this single print down that at 59. Got pretty good support again in our 75 area. So buy 1 is in this 13 area, and I do not like the long side of this contract. I think it should be sold, and then buy 2 will be in the 75. Okay, crude oil is all over the map. Let's look at F1. And it's not really a lot different than what our assessment was last week. We've said structurally 44.50 or lower where the buying is being done now, and then 50 is a great structural sell. So you can just see right here, we did get over 50. I mean, they ran every damn stop there was from 48.50 to 50.50. I mean, that's where. So here's your 49.23. Here's the breakout from 48.50. So if this 48.50 area proves to be support right here, we got a pretty fair shot of testing, you know, at least the 49.50. That would be the 100 ticks, and 150 ticks would take us back up to 50. So pretty strong market. Again, not a solid piece of news to explain that. Here's this breakout from 48.25 down here from 47.87. So 48.25 buy 1, 750, 775 buy 2. On the sell side, we have the spill, so 49.25. We'll give it a little extra room. May have to lean against 49, and then 75 to 50 for sell 2. But again, there's no hard piece of news to point to explain what went on. Okay, the E-mini, I think probably 2,000 is a pretty solid barrier for right now. We do have news that can move the markets this morning, and if it comes in as forecast, it would be supportive. Looking at the big picture stuff, as far as volume goes, this 1965 area looks pretty solid, then our 2035. And, you know, that's our 50 to 70 point range that we have. 2020 right now is pretty solid resistance, and we're at supports, the 75 to 80 area. The attractor down here remains 68, 69. Got to get through 80 to get to that number. So if 80 holds up pretty well, and that gives us a shot back up at 2020. The low was set off the opening at Globex, and the market up off of that. We had real heavy selling on Friday in a very, very weak close. And you can see right here how the market, it's 85, 87 remains a pretty good place to be a buyer. So the focus will be ISM manufacturing at 54.5, personal spending at -0.2. On the sell side, 94.96, very, very aggressive, then 99.01. And obviously the 2000 area, that's a pretty round number. And if we change 2000 from resistance to support, then there's no reason not to think 2020. Okay, we'll take at least 20 minutes. I got to do both write-ups from right now. Everything up and going. I'm going to get busy on that. I'll be back as soon as I can. Bye.